Yeah.
During the Age of Enlightenment, it was taught that from evolutionary science, it was absolute that Blacks could not achieve a working equality with whites, and that by evolution, we were predetermined to be slaves. And we even had a mental diagnosis to fix the problem of a slave wanting to be free. Okay, so this idea that there were a bunch of white people hating Black people 150 years ago just isn't true. They thought it was settled science. There was consensus in the science that said Blacks could not do X, Y, and Z. Okay, they even asked the question was often asked, because if it wasn't true, you have plantations with 100 Blacks and 4 whites. Why don't they just rebel? And what happened was there were 3 rebellions in the mid 1800s leading up to the Civil War, ending with Nat Turner's rebellion. And that was one of the true impetuses to the Civil War. Whites in the North said, oh, Blacks really don't want to be slaves, because these rebellions are popping up all over the place. People don't realize that a person sitting 100, 1,000 miles away from a slave only understands slavery through the lens of the media.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? They have no direct experience, and there's not enough interaction in their lives for them to care to have an opinion. So they tend to accept the opinion of the media of their day. There was never a time when the majority of whites hated Blacks. It just didn't happen. And we have to remember, when we look at the racism of the past, whites had opinions based on what they were taught. Right. Black opinions based on what they were taught. It was not an emotional or some natural or guttural thing to where whites and Blacks didn't like each other.